Imagine this. It's December 2015 and you're walking out of the movie theater having just seen Star Wars: The Force Awakens. The first Star Wars movie to come out in a decade, and you are so buzzing about all of the new characters. Rey, Finn, Poe, BB-8, Kylo Ren, and Supreme Leader Snoke. Now, I don't think there was a more theorized character during the 2 years between the time of The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi than Supreme Leader Snoke. I mean, the internet was just littered with theories about who he actually is. I mean, could he be Darth Plagueis? Could he be a Mace Windu that has recovered from his terrible injuries suffered in Episode 3? We never get factual evidence that he actually returns. Could he be Darth Sidious returned, or something like that? Or could he be Jar Jar Binks? Yeah, probably not the last one. His identity was a mystery, and we were all so excited about this character that seemed so powerful, so manipulative. We were excited to have a really awesome big bad that we knew was the big bad throughout the entire trilogy. We were so excited to see what he was all about when it came to The Last Jedi, and we were so hyped. So what did we get about him in The Last Jedi?
Yes, I see him turning the lightsaber to strike true. And now, foolish child, he ignites it and kills his true enemy.
Wait, that's it? Wait, really? That was anticlimactic. Wow. Hyping up a character for 2 years and then having him die super anticlimactically in the middle of the movie? What gives, Rian Johnson? So today we're going to explore why Snoke was such an overhyped character and if he still has any importance moving on in the Star Wars franchise. In The Rise of Skywalker, we learn a huge detail about Snoke from Emperor Palpatine, that he is a clone of Emperor Palpatine that was just used to turn Ben Solo to the dark side. So what does that mean for the rest of our questions about Supreme Leader Snoke? Him being a clone means they're kind of irrelevant. I mean, who is he? Where does he come from? All that? Not necessary anymore, considering we know that he is a clone. Does he have any more importance? How did he rise to power? Not much of that is really known and talked about in canon Star Wars material. But then again, that does raise one question, and that is how Emperor Palpatine created Snoke in the first place. So this question is answered by Emperor Palpatine when he's talking to Kylo Ren at the beginning of The Rise of Skywalker. Snoke was created by Emperor Palpatine in the unknown regions planet of Exegol, which was also a Sith base that Palpatine used. He was an artificial humanoid that was created by Palpatine with the sole purpose of leading the First Order while Ben Solo was still a Jedi, and then turning him into the eventual Supreme Leader of the First Order. Snoke was the driving force of the turn of Ben Solo into his new persona, Kylo Ren. So what else do we know about Snoke? It's really about it. I mean, that's not to say there isn't more about him, it's just nothing that's super necessary or important. I mean, Snoke does go on some adventures with Ben Solo during his turn to the dark side and up to the events of The Force Awakens. They're not necessarily important to the rest of the story. So what does this mean for Snoke's character? He really wasn't important for a lot of the story. Now, I believe J.J. Abrams had completely different plans for Snoke when he first created the character in The Force Awakens, but when he wasn't able to direct The Last Jedi, his plan kind of got thrown at his head. Rian Johnson took the character in a completely different direction. I believe Abrams wanted to keep the character as the big bad throughout the entire story, but then Rian Johnson decided that Kylo Ren was going to be the big bad, and Snoke was just going to be the puppet master that they killed off. And then when J.J. Abrams returned to direct The Rise of Skywalker, there wasn't really a ton that J.J. could do, considering the character's potential was kind of wasted. Johnson said this on why he didn't give any background to Snoke. In this particular story, it's much more like the original trilogy. Where with Snoke, if you think about the actual scenes, if suddenly I had paused on one of the scenes to give a 30-second monologue about who he was, it would have kind of stopped the scene in its tracks, I realized. Even though it could have been interesting, something that fans were interested in, as storytellers we kind of have to serve what the scenes need to be. It was a tough thing, even though I knew some fans were interested in it. I also knew that it wasn't something that dramatically had a place in this movie. Now, I don't necessarily blame Rian Johnson alone for the unfulfilled promise of a great villain during this story, other than Kylo Ren, who I guess is a redeemed hero. I also think a lot of the Star Wars community takes a lot of the blame for the overhyping of Supreme Leader Snoke. They can't control what happens to the character throughout the movies. So if you overhype a character, then it doesn't do much. You're kind of raising your expectations really for nothing. But yeah, most of the blame goes on Rian Johnson. Now, I'm very critical of The Last Jedi, and that being as a Star Wars movie. As a movie not viewed in the Star Wars scope, it's a fantastic film. I was watching it the other day. I really enjoyed a lot of the parts of it, but as a Star Wars movie, I think it just missed the mark just a little bit. I think if a lot of the scenes of The Last Jedi were moved into The Rise of Skywalker, they would have had a lot more success, but since they were in the middle of the three movies, didn't necessarily hit the right nerve with fans. So, what do you think? Do you like Supreme Leader Snoke? Do you think he was a good character as just kind of a decoy, or do you think there could have been more to him? Were you one of those Star Wars fans that were so excited about him, and then were kind of disappointed when they left the theaters in The Last Jedi? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you liked the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for new videos coming out every single Thursday here on Fluhr Fandom. Next week, we have a video about the most underrated Disney movie of all time. That's all the time we have today for Fluhr Fandom, and we will see you next Thursday.